All right. You guys are tuned in right now to the Shady Ass Tea. And I have my co-host, sir,
Yes.
in the building. Two
Am I coming in
Chains. I
clear?
see you.
You see me?
Two Chains.
I
Two
was like, oh my god, I don't
Chains.
have. I had to put some clothes on. I had to just throw something on real quick.
Okay. Well, you look handsome. Look at
Thank
you.
you. Listen, I've been
What you
trying to get. I've
sipping
been giving
on?
y'all. This is a daiquiri. It's Long Island iced tea and peach. That is a drive-through daiquiri shop for five.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
happy
yeah. I
hour.
remember you told me about that place. First
Hmm
of all, uh,
It's almost 2 o'clock here. It's almost two
you gave
o'clock
us
here.
away. You
Also,
gave us away.
it's hmm?
You gave us away. But you know what? I got some hot chocolate
Hot
from
chocolate.
Borda Pelham. I'm gonna die for this. They're down. My neighbor's downstairs.
Okay.
But shout out to Savage. He got me some hot
Mm,
chocolate chow. Savage
yeah.
fun too. Hey Savage. He
Yeah.
was
This
on
is
the
some
morning wood this
daiquiris
morning.
right in the
All
corner.
right. Okay. Well, I'm here for it. And also I'm definitely here for the shady ass tea. So as we do each and every Tuesday,
Mm.
we deliver the shady ass tea. Sir, what's the tea?
So we have to start with this woman in Tennessee who was molesting little boys in exchange, giving them vape pens to have sex with them.
What?
Okay, I'm glad you're shocked because I was I was flabbergasted.
Wait, is this the lady with the nine young
The nine
boys?
the nine little
I didn't know
boys.
she was giving
Yes.
them vape pens. I didn't read the whole story. So I just was
Okay.
like, well,
So Melissa Blair is her name. She's 38 years old. She's not a teacher. Initially, when I saw the story, I thought she was a teacher. She's not a teacher. She was like a volunteer at the school, help with like boosters and fundraisers and stuff like that. She given the little boys. The boys range between 14 and 17 years old, and there's at least 9 of them that have been reported that she's had sex with, and she was giving them stuff like vape pens. Now, I was thinking about this earlier, and I felt two ways. Okay. Number one, you don't be molesting people, right? But also, we should probably teach boys to have value, right? We can't be trading the dick for vape
do
pens.
you know how much a vape pen costs?
$40,
And what if it was like a high quality
ma'am,
cartridge?
ma'am.
When I buy a vape cartridge, that shit is almost $100 just for the cartridge.
Not for the vape pen, sir. You're not smashing for the vape pen,
What
son.
if it was like $150 worth of vape? That's not enough for for
No,
for a
you're
teenager.
not gonna smash for cancer, sir. You,
But no,
you, you
but you don't think it was a cannabis pen? This is what I'm thinking because you're thinking
mm,
it's a tobacco pen.
mm,
That's your thoughts
mm, that's true. Even
because
if
they
it's
can't they
marijuana,
can't buy cannabis. They can't
but
buy it.
you need to give me actual. I need actual weed in my
You
hand
get some.
that I
You get
can
some of the
sell.
JJ. You get some of the JJ and a cannabis vape pen, and you're
He
and you're
wins.
and you're 16 or 15 years old. You make dumb decisions on both
Absolutely.
ends.
I'm gonna tell you how they got caught. I'm gonna tell you how they got caught. The little boys wasn't like running around telling people they was fucking the booster lady. They was at the they was it. They was all about they little vapes, vape. And mama was like, "Where you get that fucking vape pen from?" Who? Oh, my teacher gave it to me.
Not Markeisha.
No, my teacher. My
Markeisha.
teacher
Oh,
gave
I
it to
thought you
me.
said Markeisha, child. I was about to be like, not that we go call her Markeisha.
My teacher gave it to me. She was like, "Yo, why your teacher give you a vape pen?"
Right.
Uh,
And then
uh,
and then they got caught just like
right. It
that.
was an anonymous tip. Someone sent an anonymous tip to the school that they needed to check her out, and they did. And she
You don't
has.
think it was a student that sent the anonymous tip that didn't
It was
get their
probably his
vape
father.
pen?
It was. I think it was a daddy.
It was definitely not a daddy.
You don't think so?
No. It was
Why not?
either definitely a mama or definitely a kid that didn't get their vape pen.
Mom's coming to the school.
Mom is not.
Mom,
Yeah.
mom's coming to the school. She's not anonymously doing shit. Mama's walking through the door.
So
It
I
was
think then I think I'm gonna settle with chill. It was one of the kids.
a jealous little boy was like, she fucking him, and she didn't give me no
No,
vape pen.
no,
She gave him raspberry. The bitch gave me blueberry.
no. The fact that
Absolutely not.
they probably didn't get. She didn't ante up on what it is that they
Hmm
were promised. So she probably he was like, oh, okay. So because who else is going to anonymously call a school? But if it was going to be a mom or dad, they're definitely going to the school. It's definitely not going to be a dad going up there because his 15-year-old kid smashed the mom.
A dad
The,
might. I mean, I think the reason I say it was a dad is because I don't. I think the dad may have been disappointed that it happened to his son, but he wasn't trying to embarrass the little boy or like cause no shit. He just wanted to say, hey, this lady is doing these things to these little boys because a 17-year-old boy and a 14-year-old boy are not the same thing, right? So if it was a 17-year-old boy fucking this lady, and he was like, look, son, you don't need to be fucking the teachers at the school. Right? You need to not be. She's taking. I know it feels like she's not taking advantage of you. She's definitely taking advantage of you. But he's like, hey, this lady's taking advantage of little boys at the school. I think that's what it was. Versus like if it was a mom and she found out, she's like, you fucking my son, you nasty bitch.
yeah,
Like if it was a girl, if it was a little girl and the daddy found out, he's killing everybody, right? But I feel like a mom, if she found out, would not want to embarrass her daughter like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, not a daughter, but definitely right. The son. She don't give a damn. Okay, but she's going to the school, and if it was a daughter, the dad's going to the school. That's why I'm
right. Thinking, that's what I'm saying.
No one's calling the school anonymously. If you're a parent, right. You're saying, hey, I'm Kyle's father, okay, and Kyle just told me that
Melissa Blair
been prostituting
himself
for a vape pen.
For a vape pen.
So it wouldn't have been anonymous. It would have been. That's what I'm thinking. It's probably was one of the students because.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, how old were these little boys?
Between 14 and 17, and so again, 17. Because when I was in school, when I was in high school, there were some 17-year-old girls fucking the teachers. Like, and the teachers, the security guards, the police officers on campus, there were some girls definitely fucking the grown-ups in the building.
That's crazy.
And, well, it is what it is.
The thing is that, like, at what point, what part of pedophilia do you like, want to smash your students? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just seems like there's nothing about a little kid, a teenager, that excites me. Okay. Now, when I was a teenager, I think I had one coach that was like, I was like curious, but not really. I would never have even thought about anything. I actually thought she was going to hell because that's what I thought back then. So,
I'm gonna be honest. When I was like in high school, I wanted a teacher to make them. I'm like, I wish if any one of these teachers make a move on me, they getting it.
Now, my first woman was my college English professor.
Okay,
but I mean, I guess I was grown then.
You were an adult then, yes.
A growner. I was 19. I was growner. But yeah. So that's.
But see, I think so. As a 14 years old, I didn't really know what I wasn't like that. But like 16, 17, absolutely. I'm like, this teacher can absolutely do what they want to do to me. Right? You know what I'm saying? I'm here for that. So I maybe that's why the age of consent is like 16 or 17 in a lot of places. Because they're like, fuck, you can fuck me.
Ew.
we can definitely do it. We can hunch.
These little boys though, they sure be trying. I'm a grown ass woman, and these little boys be trying it. I'm like, look here, little boy.
Because it's successful sometimes.
I guess they are. They not with me.
Listen, there's some ladies that's like, hey, I'm gonna give you what you're looking for.
I believe it. That's wild. Those are wild games people play.
So Wendy Williams. We have to talk about Wendy Williams. Her show will be officially over in June. How are you feeling?
I wish Wendy well. I wish that she's able to recover from her illnesses, from her broken heart, from whatever ailments that she may have, whatever condition. I really hope that she heals overall, and I hope that she's able to live her best life at this point. Fuck this show, because this show is not helping her health. Right. It was making it worse.
Right.
So hopefully she can be at peace with just saying that chapter is over, and now
Mm-hmm.
I'm on to something else. And
Mm-hmm.
that may very well just be laying on the beach and
Right.
taking selfies. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like at this point, that should be her life.
Yeah, I agree. Her son's in college. She's divorced. She's free of the man and his baby.
According to Radar Online,
Uh,
her and what's his name? What's her
Kevin.
Kevin
Mm-hmm.
been hanging out,
Oh, okay. Well, she was with him a long time.
and I guess she allegedly trusts him to take care of her and
Yeah, that
take
makes
care of
sense.
things. I see it, but
That makes sense.
he also has a whole wife now.
Yeah, but I think okay, they were together like 2 decades or something like that. And they've been through a lot of shit together. And so if you're sick and you need somebody to take care of you, you don't want to introduce somebody new that you've never been around. She's not asking, she's not trusting with her heart. She's like, hey, I'm sick. I need you to help me because I'm sick. And I think that they have enough love between each other that would be a reasonable thing to ask. And if his wife is like, well, fuck that bitch, then maybe she should relax a little bit. Like it's not like she,
I mean,
you know what I mean?
I don't think she has she
And
doesn't have the right to say
at
anything.
all, nothing.
No, but I just hope that it's not like how they say people go through rehab and then they're not, they encourage them not to have loving relationships or romantic relationships with people.
Right.
I hope that this is not one of those things where she's just like clinging back to him because he's
Mm-hmm.
familiar,
Yeah,
because first of all, he didn't do her nicely. You know what
he
I
did
mean? So
not.
like it would be different if they like broke up and everything was amicable and
Yeah,
whatever. Like
he did her really wrong.
this lady had to go over and find old girl's house and
Mm-hmm.
spray paint on the garage. Like
Right, and repossess the
her,
cars and
right, the vehicles and all of that. Like
right,
this is not like they just said, hey, you know what, our this chapter of our life is over and we're just gonna move
right,
forward. That's not what
right.
happened. So I'm hoping that, like I said, I'm sending her healing energy in
Mm-hmm.
all aspects of her life. And I hope that she can just be at peace with letting that show go. And shout out to Sherry Shepherd, because I think she
Yes,
definitely deserves to have her own show. I
I
like
think so too.
Sherry.
Me too.
Uh, and she's been on a lot of different shows. And
She has
it's
been.
about her, it's her time.
It is.
So let
I
her
think so
shine.
too. I think that Sherry Shepherd's going to do really well. I think it'll be a needed kind of pace change because she's not the same. Like Wendy is like fire, right? She's like the whole time, and I think that Sherry is going to change the pace a little bit for daytime, and I think she's going to invite in a new group of people
Yeah.
to that show, and I'm excited for
Right.
Sherry.
And that there will never be another Wendy Williams. And shout out to
Ever.
Wendy Williams for just paving the way for Black women to be
Right.
shock jocks, and
Mm-hmm.
for Black people to be shock jocks. Because
Yep.
if we really call a thing, she was really the first Black shock jock
Right.
that was really mainstream. So,
Right.
I think that definitely she needs some respect, but she also
Yeah.
needs some healing energy. So it is
I
what it
agree.
is.
I agree. So we got to talk about. We have an update on the Tasha K, Cardi B.
Ciao,
Okay.
ciao, ciao.
So we reported a couple weeks ago that Cardi B won her libel case for I think it was like $1 million for libel, $1 million, and then like the attorney's fees.
Mm-hmm.
There's the defamation case is she won that one also for $3.8 million. So at this point, Miss Tasha K is in the hawk indebted to young Cardi for about nearly $5 million. And Tasha K was on, what show was she on? I'm going to tell you exactly what she was on. All Black Media, I think it was not Media, with Kendall, excuse me. And they were asking her, does she have the fourth, almost
You cue that up, but I'm concerned
mm-hmm.
with a couple of things because they
Okay.
went into she could have go ahead and cue that video up because I think you
I'm,
wanted to play that clip. But
mm-hmm.
a couple of things. She went as far as getting sued by just simply not taking the shit down. She
Right.
could have avoided every
All
dollar
of this.
spent. So
Right.
now you put your whole family in danger
Mm-hmm.
of of having to pay fucking almost $5 million
Mm-hmm.
to an already multimillionaire, and you
Right.
really ain't got it.
You
Okay.
ain't got it. Right. So this is the clip.
In this lawsuit, allegedly at this moment, I think it's $4 million you have to pay a celebrity.
Can
And
you
my
hear
There
that?
is there volume? Yeah, it's the volume's low.
is, do you even have that amount of money to pay in this lawsuit? Like, is Tasha K worth that amount of money to pay that?
I ain't got it.
I'm trying to.
Wait, I always want to know. Listen, I'm so glad you said it.
Listen, I
Look,
ain't
I'm
got
on the
it.
edge of
I
my
ain't got
seat.
it. Don't ask me for no money.
Hey, let's get that clip. Can you get it from YouTube? So in the meantime, um, and we do have an echo again.
Okay.
But so my thing is, it's just I don't understand why she just didn't go through the whole situation in the first place and just take it down, and why she wanted to go. Why did she want to keep that video up? Like, what was the purpose of it? Like, I don't understand. Like, she said what she said about the lady, about Cardi,
Right.
and Bacardi, right? Isn't that
Right.
her name?
Cardi B. Yeah.
Bacardi, though, is that her first name?
Bel Khalees is her first name.
Okay, Bill Khalees. She went in, said all of this stuff. They said, "Hey, take that shit down. It's a fucking lie."
Right.
And she could have just taken it down. I just don't understand, why did she keep it up, and why did she even let it go this far? Was she trying to make this a publicity stunt too? Because that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, like, there's no way you would go this far unless you thought that it could increase your awareness to the world. Because
I think that's what
obviously
it is.
Cardi B is, worldwide famous, and
Right.
Tasha K may be famous in the United States. She may have, some following in other countries as well. But if we
Mm.
really think about it, like, did you really go through this whole process and get yourself in $5 million worth of debt because you thought it's going to increase your presence around the world? I think that's the part that, that's a little tricky.
I think so too. I think maybe she was. It may be something as simple as she was just blinded by pride. She was like, "I'm this bitch ain't finna tell me what I can do with my shit." Right? She might have felt like this bitch ain't bigger than me. I'm me and she her. I'm doing what I'm doing, and you know what I mean. Like, it may not even have been an idea to like enhance anything so much as it was like, I'm you bitch, you ain't finna punk me. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do.
I think it was. I don't even think it was ego. I think it was, I'm gonna just let Cardi keep talking about me so that I can get even more famous. I think that that's what it was. I don't even think ego is one thing. Like, ego
Mm-hmm.
is, girl, you lied, if that's what it was. Unless she thought she had a reputable person that actually told her that. She thought that they were reputable. And she just
Mm-hmm.
said, "Hey, well, I got the receipts because so and so said whatever." But I really think the overall thing is that she really went and deep dove into this whole situation just because she
Right.
thought it was going to make her even more famous. Period, and that's it.
Hmm.
So if they
Okay.
have to, they can look up the clip. We could drop it in the comments later,
Okay.
if we need to. But
Because it is
yeah,
most
that's what I
not
think.
working right now.
I just think that she was trying to ride the wave to see if it was going to make her even more famous, and I guess we're gonna see.
Yeah, it's making her something. In fact, I don't know if famous or infamous is probably more accurate as what is
I
making
mean,
her.
we're still talking about her.
Right.
I ain't never talked about Tasha K before this. I didn't even know who the hell
That's
Tasha K
true.
was until I was named in a video with her,
Alongside her.
from another freaking ridiculous
That's a
blogger
whole separate thing though.
who's a liar for sure.
Mm. Liar, liar.
Pants on fire, girl. So,
Definitely
like
liar,
that's
liar,
the
pants
thing.
on
I never
fire.
even knew who this lady was until this person named me with Tasha
Mm-hmm.
K. So, I mean, shout out to me being famous enough, you know,
Come on,
to
shout
be
out.
to be listed with, a prominent blogger, even though
Mm-hmm.
she's going through it right now. And we'll see. we'll see how this pans out. I just think it was a fame thing. I think that's why she went through this whole thing. But at the same time, too, one thing that Tasha K did say on that video, she was like, well, we have things in place to cover the
things
if
like
we
this.
have it. Now, I want mind you, yesterday I had to send over a certificate of insurance to a venue I'm going to be using. So I sent out a certificate of insurance, and because we're radio, we do have a certain amount of $1 million worth of insurance that covers in the event that we say something and someone sues us. So hopefully she has that insurance too,
right?
Because that would only make sense. Like that
Right,
was one of the first things.
Did she sue Tasha K directly?
Tasha
Or
K
did
is a brand, probably. She probably is a business. So herself, like, just like I am Carrice Entertainment LLC. So, I'm Carrice. That's who they're going to sue, but not knowing they're really suing the business because I am the business.
Right.
So, or I'm actually separated from the business, but if you sue based off of me utilizing my platform and me saying something, then this insurance could essentially cover it in the event that I owe money.
Right.
So she may very well have that.
She also did say she was going to use the appellate court, and the Supreme Court. She said to
not the Supreme Court,
child. Listen, she said the appellate court and the Supreme Court are in the works. I don't know what Supreme Court.
What does she think is going to be free speech? It's not free speech to say something about someone that isn't true.
That's true. That's lying.
And that's something that these bloggers need to understand is that listen, we can sit and we are bloggers, right? We essentially are vloggers. Right. That's what we do, right? We talk about information that happens in pop culture, politics, so on and so forth. But we do not talk about alleged things and make it seem as though it's facts. Okay. Right. We definitely make a clear distinction between, hey, allegedly this is what was said, and this is what this is what we think about it. These are our personal opinions versus saying, sir got the HIV.
Right.
Exactly. That's not what you do. You know,
which I don't.
Right. Sir does not have HIV. But I'm just saying, that's not how vloggers or bloggers are supposed to deliver content. And she said it with confidence, which like I said, she may have very well had a reputable source. That she thought was reputable at least, that, that has that information. And long story short, it was some BS or they could not prove it in court. And that's that.
Right. And that's what you know and what you can prove in court. Or a lot of times very, very different. Right.
Yes. So I hear her talking about the Supreme Court and I'm going to do this, but baby, okay. This is not freedom of speech. This is not any one of the amendments, child. It was a lie. And unfortunately, whomever gave the information didn't have the real receipts. Or they didn't have enough receipts to prove it in court. One or the other. Or those receipts got deleted. I don't know.
I know Tasha K called the hospital when Wendy Williams' new wife was having her baby and found the hospital.
Why do you say Wendy Williams' new wife? What do you say?
Well, her husband's new wife. I said Wendy Williams' new wife because she was paying for everything, so that was her woman. But
I mean, he has some money, right? He was her manager. I'm sure he was collecting some sort of checks.
That's true. But yeah, she does her research a lot of the times. It may not be what people want, what the person she's talking about wants out. But she does do her research. I think that this time I really do think a lot of it was pride. Because she did like 40 videos. And so if she would have had to take down 40 videos that she worked on, she put this content, that would have decreased a lot of her viewership online, and that how you get paid on YouTube is based on viewership and screen time and all of that. So she was like, nah, fuck all that. I got 2 kids to feed.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how this pans out. I'm sure it's going to get drugged. Oh, I said it. Dragged out for a lot longer, so we'll see.
It will. Okay, so this TikToker, has been arrested for her and her mom got arrested for murder. They did a video on their TikTok. I'm gonna get it pulled up now because I want to make sure I'm.
Not that they kill people on TikTok, child.
They didn't they didn't kill him on the TikTok, but they did do a video that was like, "Hey, when your relationship with your mom is so dope, you know, I can tell my mom I killed somebody today," and she was like, "Everything's gonna be okay." So,
Clutch my pearls,
girl. So the TikToker, her name is she's 22 years old. Her name is Mahek Bukhari. This is according to Hollywood Unlocked. And her mother, Asreen Bukhari, and another woman, Natasha Askar, reportedly hunted down and ran cousins Mohammed Hashim, Ijazuddin, and Zakik Hussein off the road, killing both of them and tearing their car in half. And then went to the house.
what?
Okay, and then did a video that said, they didn't have the. I'm sure they took the video of TikTok down, but did a video talking about that they did it.
Why?
Because that's what people do these days. And so the court, this is in England. It's happened in England, and they asked the women. They were like, "Hey, do y'all realize y'all are like
Murderers?"
about to, murderers?" And they're like, "Yes." And that was it. That was their response, because the question was, did they realize they were, quote, facing the most serious charge known to criminal law? And they gave a one-word answer: yes. So she has 3.2 million likes on her account. Mm-hmm. She made a video pretending to tell another person that she killed someone as Shawn Mendes, "It'll Be Okay" played in the background.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So what does she think, that she's not going to be prosecuted to the highest extent of the law?
I don't think she understands what she... Right, because Good night, you guys. I appreciate you guys coming out. I just thank you so much. Yeah, have a good one.
I'm just trying to understand her logic. And the thing is that, why did she run her cousins off the road, child? Like,
listen, I don't know why she ran the men off the road, her and her mama.
It was their cousins though, right?
No, the people who were killed were cousins.
Oh, were cousins. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were not her cousins.
Oh, gotcha.
They related to each other.
Like, child, there's some cousins of mine I don't like that much, but
mm-hmm.
I'm
not going to run them off the road, right?
Right.
But I think it's indicative of like what people think about being like that anything for clout shit, right? Like, I'm gonna kill somebody and I'm gonna go on the internet and be like, look what I did. How many likes am I gonna get on this? Like, where your commodity or your value is based on what people are like liking or viewing, and then there's also this disconnect from like humanity, and I think that's a big problem with like the internet, is that people don't understand that that's a human on the other side of the screen, and that there's a life, that's a person, that's a feelings. You just kill somebody and be like, I just killed somebody. Ma'am.
Well, we'll see how that goes. I mean, hopefully they get prosecuted, because that's a little
crazy.
Risky.
Very risky. And I think it's the mama being in. It must have been a boy she didn't like. He cheated on her or something.
Or he said something it didn't like her. Period. You know, people are crazy these days. They're crazier, I think.
You think so?
Maybe only because it's more like they're trying to be crazy. Like, you know, there's regular killers. There's regular serial killers. But now these people are trying to kill and be famous at the same damn time. Like,
trying to be like and subscribe for a part 2 of this murder.
Right. or essentially trying to kill themselves and be famous while they die. Like, the craziest shit ever. Like, people are on social media committing suicide. Like, how many times have we talked about those, things that are happening? It's an interesting time that we're living in when it comes to social media. And we might sound like dinosaurs and we may sound old as shit.
I don't
when we
care.
talk about it. But shit, I mean, listen,
Life is important.
I tested social media in terms of work when social media first fucking started, you know.
Right.
So the evolution of where we are today with social media is quite interesting.
Mm-hmm. And whether I sound like a dinosaur or not, being a human being is important. Like life is important, and it's far more important than like a fucking heart under a picture. And so, like they have like that valuing yourself and valuing another human being's existence um, over bullshit that the metaverse is it's too much for me. Like these people. Anyway, I'm not gonna get on my soapbox. Oh, good news though. Good news is there's going to be a Martin reunion.
Interesting. How they gonna do that
Well,
without Tommy?
they're gonna do a reunion.
You gonna be at work still?
On BET Plus.
You gonna be at work forever?
Oh, he's gonna finally be at work. Oh,
Rest up, Tommy.
rest up. But yeah, they're gonna BET Plus is gonna do it. I think it's been 20 years.
First of all, one thing I gotta tell the BET Plus. Okay. BET Plus. If y'all don't fix y'all damn raggedy ass app, okay, because the shit just does not fucking work properly, okay? Gee whiz.
That's the whole thing.
Like I'm on BET Plus, you know, you're supposed to be able to project it to like your other devices, whether it's a Fire Stick or a Chrome, whatever. You can't project it, so you have to watch it on your regular device, and then it makes you log in and log out over and over and over. I fucking hate BET Plus. I just went ahead and got BET Plus, which I have BET Plus for free, but I went ahead and had to pay for BET Plus on my Amazon Prime because their app is shit.
It's shitty. I have it on my TV through. I think I have it through my cable provider. And so it's on my TV. It's an app on the TV. Right. And so I don't have to watch it on my phone because I cannot stand watching shit on my phone.
Yeah, I cannot. I'm like, I already can't see shit. I can't. No, we are not watching this on my phone. Okay.
Right. So
I was trying to watch the show 20s.
Okay.
Which is actually a very good show. I really like that show.
You watch Bruh?
No. What is that?
It's a Tyler Perry show. It's like Sisters.
It sounds like it. the show is called Bruh.
Bruh.
No. No, sir.
It's about four men in their lives, and it's always going to be a doctor, a lawyer, a guy who owns that cuts grass or like makes sandwiches or some shit like that. It's Tyler Perry has a formula that he sticks to.
And he's very consistent with what he sticks to. He's like, we can make this a bruh instead of sisters and make it the same concept.
Right, exactly.
Speaking of concept shows, have you watched Bel Air?
I was gonna watch it today.
Okay, good luck.
I finally have some time to like do it. I'm gonna sit down and watch it because I saw a bunch of people going crazy because the cartoon was snorting coke. He's gonna have substance abuse issues throughout the show. Is what I'm understanding based on what the articles I've read about it and like the reviews I've seen on it. He's going to
no spoiler alerts here. No spoiler alerts here. No, but I thought it was very good. I think progressively it's gonna get better. And the thing is that a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like the storyline. I'm like, but if you really flash back to Fresh Prince, it's really the same storyline, just from a different person's perspective. That's inside of. You just gotta really oh. I can imagine this character from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air doing this based off of somebody else's story,
Right.
So I think it's good so far.
Good. I'm gonna sit down and watch it today and get through was it 4? I think it's 4 episodes. Is what
it's 4 episodes, and then I think a new episode comes every Thursday.
Have you watched Abbott Elementary?
That shit is hilarious. Hilarious. Like that's
shout out to Quinta Brunson. Yes,
it's probably one of my favorite new shows. Like it's Absolutely. So funny.
Such a funny show. I'm all about all the new black shows. I watched Grand Crew. You watched that?
I just started watching it. I haven't watched very many episodes, but I did just start watching it.
It's a good one. I think it has a lot. It shows a lot on like male relationships
Mm-hmm.
and like male intimacy, straight male intimacy,
Mm.
and that because when I'll say this, when you say intimacy to men,
To
to straight
hetero
men, yeah,
claiming,
the hetero men, right?
claiming,
They were like, I'm not
hetero
fucking him.
claiming.
Right. You better put an emphasis on the claiming, heavy on the claiming, heavy on the claiming. It makes him uncomfortable. I'm not intimate with him. If you told this motherfucker when you were sad, that's an intimate conversation.
Right.
And so I think it shows a really interesting perspective on male intimacy and like that whole thing, and it gives a different perspective on who black men are and who black people are. It's not about fucking being. It's not really about being black.
Mm-hmm.
It's just black people being people,
Mm-hmm.
which I appreciate.
Right. And people who are probably going through real healing processes and have gone to therapy. So shout out to
Right.
black men and women who go to therapy. And then too, the people that feel their feelings out loud.
Yes.
Yes. That's all I'm
Yes.
going to say about that.
Yes, people who feel their feelings. I have a question for you, and because I saw this and I'm gonna get back to the I know caveats sometimes. So I saw this post and it was like, asking women would they date a bisexual man? I've asked you this question before, and I feel like your double standard still exists. But I'll ask you now.
You know what? I met this dude.
Okay.
I met this dude. He was with another guy. And he came to the station. It was like they just like came by, like, oh hey, we wanted to check it out. Like, how are you? It's black guy, super handsome, tall, handsome, whatever. I knew when I saw him he was bi, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he leaves his wallet here.
Okay.
Okay.
Whole wallet.
It actually was like a fanny pack. So I'm like, you didn't leave that. You left that on purpose, okay? Because you're definitely
trying to come back.
Exactly. So he has to come back and get it. We go and we talk or whatever. We're having a conversation. I'm like, so are you bi? I just went ahead and asked him.
Right.
Okay. We like standing outside by the car. Like, so are you bi? You date men too, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all right, cool. I was like, so blah, 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 blah. We just kept talking.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself, I could probably date this guy.
Okay.
First of all, because he was
honest.
Although he was thrown off because he wasn't ready for that question.
Right.
But he was honest.
Right.
And we just kept on with the conversation. It wasn't like he didn't feel embarrassed about it or anything. He probably was initially shocked because he wasn't expecting
right.
me to ask.
All of a sudden, I think he was shocked by the point with the question came, not so much the question.
I just have to be within. I don't know. So my answer may very well be changing, but can I date like a man's man? Like this dude was probably like a big buff dude. Mm-hmm. In my head, I'll be thinking like.
Mm-hmm. So more masculine presenting is what you're saying.
Yeah, and normally that's who I date.
Mm-hmm.
Guys are who are super swole. Mm-hmm. And just like really masculine men. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if one of them told me that they were bi, I'll be like, what? Because in my head, I'm thinking, so now who's gonna be the feminine being in this relationship? If am I gonna give it to you in the ass? He gonna give it to you in the ass, or are you giving it in the ass? We got a lot of questions to talk about here.
Mm-hmm. A lot of it is surrounding the ass, though.
Most definitely. So okay. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Okay. So Kiki White is having what, a 10th or 11th baby?
First of all, and then her husband's shirt on their family photo of all the other 10 children said #last1.
Did it?
That's what it says. What the shirt said.
I gotta pull this picture up. It said last one.
His shirt said arrow with a #last1. And this is the thing is that, do you think that Kiki is getting her vagina rejuvenated along the way? Because that's a lot of vagina stretching.
I think she may be getting vaginal rejuvenation. I think that Kiki is putting it down on these fellas in a real way.
So that's not even the original baby daddy?
No, this is her third husband.
Whew.
This is her third husband. Her first husband, she had to stab because he was beating on her. Okay.
Allegedly.
No, according to her. According
Right.
to allegedly. So I'll say allegedly because I don't know. I wasn't there. So allegedly, he was abusive, so she had to stab him. The second husband, Michael Jamar, she verbally and
Was that the
emotionally
preacher guy?
abused. Yes,
Okay.
she did a lot of verbal and emotional abuse to him. Okay, on screen. Okay, that's what it looked like. I'll say that's what it looked like to me. She may not feel like it was abuse. To me, it appeared as emotional and verbal abuse. Okay, he filed for divorce. I think they were like 8 kids deep by then. Okay, and then
How?
she had 4. I think with the first guy.
Mm.
I think. Listen. She got 11 of them motherfuckers now. So
Well,
it's
almost 10.
almost
And
11,
then
10,
one
10.
on the
She had
way.
10. One on the way.
Mm-hmm.
So she had a bunch of them when she met the second husband. Because she was with the first one.
Here's my question for you.
Mm-hmm.
When are you tapping out? When do you say? When
I'm
do
done.
you date a woman and you say,
Mm-hmm.
and she got 8 kids?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? And she's the perfect one. What are you doing?
She ain't the perfect one because she got 8 kids.
Why not? Maybe they all.
Because I don't want to raise eight of another man's children. I don't want to participate in it. I don't want to be a part of it. I'll be completely honest about that. I'm not interested in stepdaddying. I don't want to be a stepdaddy. I don't want a stepmama. My kids are my kids. You and I can date, but I don't need nobody helping me with I got kids. I got this. You dating me. You ain't got to date my kids. And so I don't want somebody that's like, yo, I'll come with the kids. Huh?
But you do come with the kids, don't you?
I don't know. I don't. I mean, I come with my children. Like my children are coming first. But like my relationships romantically are not about my children. Like I don't. You don't have to be
It's not being
engaged.
about them. It's not being about them. But you definitely date someone, and then in the event that you decide that this person is somebody you want to spend the rest of your life with, then your
I don't want
children
that.
then your children are involved. are part of the commitment process, okay? Because they're also committing to your children too. Now, so yes, essentially, your children will be part of that, but the dating process initially may not involve your children. But if you are, making that thing official, then definitely.
I don't want anything official.
Oh God, we'll revisit this.
What we may.
We'll revisit this in 10 years.
In 10 years, we'll revisit, and I may feel.
You'll be married for 5 years by that time.
You think so? You gonna have a second marriage? Not a second marriage. He said what you said. Mark the day. All the twos on Tuesday.
Period.
Oh, we've manifested.
Everything I say today is going.
Is manifest. Okay, so if we manifest it, by then I need to.
I will also have 100. Let's say that's 10 years from now. I'm gonna say it. $10 billion at the least.
I'll take 10 billion. I manifest 10 billion.
$10 billion in 10 years. In the next 3 years, I have $100 million tax free.
Next 10 years, $100 million. I will. This will be my most popular year so far in my life. This year will be my most prosperous year, financially, emotionally, spiritually, physically. I'm gonna get a lot of pussy this year. We manifest that. What else we manifesting on 2222? I want to have abs.
And viral videos that make cash. Lots of it.
I need to have bankable content. Okay.
I'm manifesting about 8 trips out of the country in 2022.
8 trips out of the country.
Right.
I'll take
One of
6.
them I may not come back from. So
I'll take 6. I definitely want to manifest that, and I'm going to manifest some debt free. I'm going
Hello to debt free.
hello. I'm going to manifest some being debt free.
I'm gonna
Okay,
manifest not having to pay bills, and they just get. I'm just gonna manifest free bills. How about that? Just
how would you manifest free? No bills.
Forever.
Bill free, debt free.
Everything I want with no bills.
Everything I want to be a stay at home.
Please.
For real.
And thank you.
Please.
We got about 9 minutes left for our shady ass tea. We got some more tea?
Okay, so what was they talking about? You was talking to me about Macy Gray. Why was the people talking about Macy Gray?
I think just because of her, like, yes, it's just because of her appearance, and that's the word on the street with that. I mean,
I love Macy Gray. I love you.
Yeah, I think she's a great actress too.
Yes,
somebody put her, and then somebody said in the comments, it was like, not Macy Gray, child. She's still doing abortions in her apartment. I said, for color girls. I forgot it was for that for color girls, and then I was like, shut up! I was like, she was doing abortions in her apartment. So yeah, shout out to Macy Gray. I think Macy Gray did a Macy Gray time and a good job.
She did. I love Macy Gray.
Yeah. So that was
100%.
Real quick, while you do that. Ahmaud Arbery's murderers found guilty of federal hate crimes. Okay. So the hate crimes and those charges are going to be a little bit different than before. So looks like McMichaels and Bryan were charged with 1 count each of interfering the rights and attempted kidnapping in the federal trial. Father and son Gregory and Travis were also charged with 1 count of using, carrying, and brandishing a gun during and in relation to a crime of violence. And Travis was additionally charged with firing a weapon. There's some charges missing here.
Yes.
During the trial, federal prosecutors argued that McMichaels and Bryan, who are white, pursued the attacked 25-year-old Arbery in February of 2022 because of his race. Over a dozen witnesses testified that the 3 men made derogatory remarks about Black people and text messages that they had, and they showed, those text messages in court. Prosecutors also claimed that Gregory once said that those blacks, I hate when white people say blacks. I hate it. Those blacks. I'm sorry. My screen is jumping all over the place. Those blacks are all nothing but trouble. And that was during a 2015 death of civil rights activist Julian Bond.
Well, why do people say black?
Blacks. It's with the S.
When they say listen.
Black. Period. Black.
When they say the word black, it feels like, it looks like to me that it makes their skin crawl to say the word. When people are like, oh yes, I was going and I got a black. My dog is black.
or is that how it sounds to us?
I don't know. I see, and that's what I don't know if it's how it sounds to me or if that's how they're actually fucking saying it.
I think every time they say it, I feel like it sounds like that.
Right.
I think it's how we're receiving it. But I think some people say blacks like they're saying blacks like the N-word.
Yes. It's black. This black. I don't want anything black. Oh, my feet are so black. And I'll be like, oh my god. You keep saying him, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
And shout out to the Black Effect Podcast Network. They have a series going on right now for Black History Month. I didn't know, maybe you didn't either. And one of them talked about Jim Crow and talking about how basically Jim Crow is another word for the N-word. So they were saying Jim Crow. I can actually play this clip real quick.
Please, because I don't know what.
They were basically saying that Jim Crow was essentially it was some guy something. I'm gonna figure this out,
Okay.
but it was interesting to learn that pretty much Jim Crow is just another word for saying the N word with the
It's
ER.
also it's so many ways to say the N word that are just not it. I'm like, you know what? So you're black, right? You remember anybody ever actually like said you're black and then said right like you were gonna go, no, I'm not black. Like I'm saying like fucking white people. They say shit like that. You be like, who the fuck do you think you're talking to?
Yo black ass. That's who you talking. That's who they think you talking to. The
Lord.
blacks.
The black, yes, and black, I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm not trying to be racist. I'm not racist. But, black, why do black people?
Then one killer.
They were afraid to speak.
All right, so listen, I'm going to let you guys listen to this clip real quick. I didn't know, maybe you didn't either. This is about Jim Crow.
Follow the pink.
Let's get these commercials out the way real quick.
Forever.
All right.
Today's episode of I Didn't Know, Maybe You Didn't Either, we tackle a word that I've heard for years and never thought, where did the term come from? Jim Crow.
I didn't know, maybe you
We in my neck of the woods, baby. East side of Greensboro. A&T, right there. Downtown, right there. This is where I grew up at, baby. Welcome to Greensboro, North Carolina. I'm familiar with the Jim Crow laws, and I'm familiar with the Jim Crow South, where black people and white people couldn't talk to each other, couldn't eat together, couldn't drink together, couldn't sleep together, couldn't do nothing. They did used to sneak in some hanky-panky time, though, from time to time. Oh, hanky-panky, don't tell massa that we're getting the hanky-panky on. Now, it all came from that Plessy versus Ferguson case down in Louisiana, where they said that black people and white people shouldn't share the same carts. And then all of America said, yo, we agree. Black people and white people should have separate carts. They should be separate, but equal, which is the dumbest thing ever. However, here we are. Who I wasn't familiar with is Thomas Price. In the 1830s, Thomas Price, he ran the minstrel shows. And in those minstrel shows, he'd go straight blackface. And he would be dumb with it and dumbfounded. And just paint black people as the most imbecile person he could think of. His stage name was Jim Crow. And over the years, Jim Crow became a derogatory term for black folks. Jim Crow is the equivalent to the word. The Jim Crow laws were the laws. Jim Crow always sounded like a name that would own slaves, right? Jim Crow was a derogatory slang term for the derogatory slang term for black folks. And I didn't know. Maybe you didn't either.
All right.
So, that being said, you've seen Dumbo, yes?
Yes.
Okay. There are crows in that movie, right? And the crows in that movie are essentially minstrels. Like they're in blackface, 100%. They're jet black, and they have these bright orange or like pink beaks, and they, oh my goodness, good, they all of that. And so hearing him say Jim Crow is a term for nigga, and then thinking about nigger, and thinking about those crows in that movie, I'm like, Disney was they was really wildin'. Yikes.
Wow. We didn't know. Maybe you didn't either. And that's the show for today. That is the shady ass tea of the day. Okay.
On this 2.
Right. Shout out to all those manifestations, all that shady ass tea that we delivered to y'all today. Sir, where can they find you on social media?
They can find me on IG at the Sir Armstrong and on Facebook at Sir Armstrong.
All right, y'all. You can find me on every single social media platform at eCarrice. That's ECARRICE. And then don't forget, you can follow the station on every platform as well at Hot 7025 FM, and go to hot7025fm.com where you can watch, listen live, and download our app as well. We are out of this thing. Bye, y'all.
See you next Tuesday.